I was watching this mini documentary from Captivating History called Queen of Sheba Legend, History, and Meaning, and there are so many problems, but I want to focus on the fact that they keep on switching between black and white Queen of Sheba.
The ancient Middle East and the Arab world were famous for their folktales and storytelling abilities. This tendency existed across the entire religious spectrum, including, but not restricted to, the Jews.
Right off the bat, no mention of Africa, and we know that black people do play a huge part in Hebrew Israelite history, which Jews shy away from, but when pressed, they have to submit to that fact.
Merchants and traders passed these stories around the region, which makes historians question the veracity of these tales. Some tales have multiple versions. Others are soaked with supernatural intent that is simply impossible to verify.
So from there, this mini documentary is going to go from black to light-skinned images because the people of Yemen considered her to be light-skinned and the people of Ethiopia consider her to be dark-skinned. Now, I guarantee you, if Captivating History does a mini documentary of Mary, they are not going to cycle between black and light-skinned Mary, but they do that for the Queen of Sheba. See how much contempt they have for black history?
9 months and 5 days after their departure from Jerusalem, she gave birth to a baby boy. Her people welcomed her and her son with open arms. The kingdom rejoiced in the news of a male heir, and the arrival of the gifts meant that they were even richer than before. The son, Menelik, was around 12 years old when he started to get curious about his biological father.
She is clearly Ethiopian if you study the history. Her son Menelik I ruled from Ethiopia, not Yemen. Practically every documentary says that she slept with King Solomon and had a child. The people of Yemen do not acknowledge this, and when they claim that the Queen of Sheba comes from Yemen, I always ask them, where did her son rule? In Ethiopia or Yemen? They never come back with an answer.
The Ethiopian national epic, Kibra Nagast, translated as The Glory of the Kings, also speaks of the Queen of Sheba. Kibra Nagast, as well as the Quran, the Hebrew Bible's books of the Chronicles, the Bible, and the Jewish antiquities all mention a single radical event of the queen's life.
The Kebra Nagast contains the most detailed and elaborate account of the Queen of Sheba compared to other texts. While the Bible and the Quran briefly mention her, the Kebra Nagast expands her story significantly, especially in relation to Ethiopian history and Solomonic dynasty. Also, the Kingdom of Sheba is thought to be in southwestern Arabia, which is modern-day Yemen, though some traditions place it in or near parts of Ethiopia. In the medieval Ethiopian cultural work called the Kebra Nagast, Sheba was located in Ethiopia. Some scholars therefore point to a region in the northern Tigray and Eritrea, which was once called Saba, later called Merowe, as a possible link with the biblical Shiva.
Some people think she came from Yemen. Some say southern Arabia, and others claim Africa.
So what they like to do is discount what black people say about their history and go with the light-skinned version, even though practically every documentary tells you that the Queen of Sheba had a son with King Solomon, and that son ruled in Ethiopia, not Yemen. I'm telling you, we are going to intellectually annihilate them on the world stage when we get a chance. When we get a chance to have a civilized debate, we will ruin them because they talk pure caca, and we're going to throw it back in their face because who wants to be crapped on? So sick of their mess. Who is going to win between Afrocentrism and Eurocentrism? And I say Afrocentrism. I'll tell you why. I absolutely guarantee you that if you get whatever you think about Afrocentrism, whatever you think about Eurocentrism, you get the best Afrocentrists in the world, and you get the best Eurocentrists in the world, and they have to debate in front of the entire world about history, and everybody has to watch this debate. I guarantee you the Afrocentrist is going to be like, yes, let's go. It's about time. I have a lot of things to say and I have a lot of questions. Let's go. Yes, I can't wait. The Eurocentrist is going to be like, oh my God, this is a bad idea. And you know why I say that? Because the Afrocentrist, Africans, black people, we have constantly been ignored and pushed aside when we talk about our own history. They always ignore us and belittle us whenever we talk about our history. So they get to say whatever they want to say. The Eurocentrist is going to be upset because he cannot control the narrative anymore. That's why he says, like, this is a bad idea, because he can't control the narrative anymore. So he's not going to be happy. And then people will be exposed to a lot of lies and misinformation. So they don't want that. So that's why I say the Afrocentrists will definitely win, because they're definitely lying about a lot of stuff, these Eurocentrics.